You've likely been there, infatuated, maybe even obsessed, wondering why the more effort you pour in, the more distant they become. You double text, you plan surprises. You go out of your way to show them how much you care, and still, they slip further away. This isn't just frustrating, it's painful. You start to question your worth. You think, maybe if I try harder, they'll see how much I care. But that's the trap. The very act of chasing is what causes them to run. When you chase, you send a subconscious message. I need you more than you need me. That message is rooted in insecurity, and people can sense it even if you're doing everything right on the surface. It's energy, it's frequency. You may not say it, but your actions scream it. And neediness, however subtle, is repulsive. Not because you're a bad person, but because it disrupts the natural flow of attraction. Attraction thrives in freedom, not pressure. When you're constantly pursuing someone, trying to win them over, you disrupt the balance. You become the one doing the proving, and they get to relax into the role of the chooser. That power dynamic kills mystery, tension, and the chase from their side. Ironically, the very thing you want to pull them closer gets sabotaged by your pursuit. I remember a time I fell hard for someone. I rearranged my schedule, sacrificed my hobbies, even changed plans with friends just to be available when she was. I believed that showing her I cared would earn me a place in her heart, but the more I leaned in, the more she leaned out. Eventually she ghosted me. At the time, I was crushed. But in hindsight, I saw it clearly. I'd been broadcasting a message that I had nothing more important in my life than her, and that made me less valuable, not because she was cruel, but because I stopped being a challenge, a mystery, a person of self-contained worth. People are drawn to those who are in motion, who have purpose, passion, and independence. Chasing tells the other person that your world revolves around them, and that's never attractive. In fact, the most magnetic people are those who seem unattached, not because they don't care, but because they don't need validation to feel whole. The paradox is that the less you chase, the more attractive you become. When you pull your energy back and focus on yourself, your passions, your growth, you radiate confidence, and confidence is irresistible. Instead of asking, how can I get them to like me? Ask, why am I not giving that love and energy to myself? This is the beginning of an energy shift. It's not about playing games. It's about understanding that attraction isn't earned through effort, it's cultivated through alignment, self-respect, and emotional stability. When you become the source of your own happiness, you naturally attract those who want to be part of your world, not because you chased them, but because they see your value and want to stay close. Detachment often gets misunderstood. People think it means being cold, aloof, or not caring, but that's not true detachment. Real detachment is rooted in inner strength. It means you care, but not at the cost of your self-respect. You're present, but not desperate. You can love without losing yourself, and that shift changes everything. When you chase someone or something, you're placing it above you. You're saying, I need this to feel okay. That energy of needing, of grasping, is what pushes things away. But when you let go, when you say, I trust what's meant for me will stay, everything begins to shift. You stop trying to force outcomes. You stop analyzing every text or silence. You move back into your own power. It's like trying to hold sand in your hand. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. But when you open your palm, the sand stays. That's how people are too. The more you cling, the more they feel pressure, and pressure isn't love. Pressure makes people run. But when you create space, when you pull back and focus inward, they feel your absence. That absence, when rooted in confidence and peace, not anger or manipulation, creates curiosity. It plants a seed. I remember when I stopped chasing someone who meant a lot to me. Instead of waiting by the phone or crafting the perfect message, I poured that energy into myself. I went to the gym with more focus. I started a side project I'd been putting off. I reconnected with friends I had neglected. And just like that, without reaching out, she messaged me. Not because I played a game, but because she felt the shift. She sensed the energy detach, and that detachment, ironically, pulled her in. Detachment signals that you're whole with or without them. It tells the world, I choose myself first, and that's incredibly attractive. Not because you're pretending not to care, but because you genuinely care more about protecting your peace than forcing a connection. This doesn't mean shutting people out or building emotional walls. It means releasing the need to control how things unfold. You show up, give your best, but you don't tie your worth to someone else's response. You don't chase, you attract. And what's meant to stay, stays. What's meant to go, goes. Either way, you remain grounded. Because detachment isn't about losing emotion, it's about mastering it. Every great story has a main character, the one who faces challenges, grows, and commands the spotlight. But many people, especially in relationships, unknowingly take the role of the background character in their own life. They orbit around someone else's world, waiting for attention, validation, or approval. This quiet self-abandonment is subtle, but powerful. It turns a man from the center of his life into a spectator. And that's where everything starts to fall apart. Confidence, attraction, respect. You weren't born to be an extra in someone else's movie. You were meant to be the star in your own. And that means shifting your mindset from chasing to leading, from seeking approval to living with purpose. Think about it. When was the last time you felt most alive? It probably wasn't when you were obsessing over texts or overanalyzing someone's mixed signals. It was when you were creating, building, laughing, growing, doing things that brought you joy. When you're truly in alignment with your goals and passions, you radiate something rare: presence. You're not distracted, you're not desperate, you're locked in. And that kind of energy draws people to you. You stop needing to chase, because your life becomes magnetic. People want to be part of it. They want to be near someone who's too busy building to beg for attention. I experienced this shift when I stopped waiting on someone to choose me. Instead of spending time wondering what she was thinking or why she pulled back, I started using that energy to refine my vision. I picked up an old hobby, launched a small business idea, and set a new fitness goal. The crazy part? That same person who once ignored me began watching my stories, commenting on my progress, and eventually reached out. Not because I played games, but because I became someone worth noticing. It's not about faking confidence or pretending to be too busy. It's about genuinely putting yourself first. Start small. Make a list of things that bring you energy and commit to doing one of them daily. Start saying no to things that drain you and yes to the things that grow you. The more centered you become, the more people naturally gravitate toward you. You are the main character, and the moment you step into that role, everything changes. You stop waiting to be chosen. You become the one who chooses, and that shift from passive to purposeful is what makes you truly magnetic. The root of chasing often lies in a silent belief you don't even realize you're carrying. They're the prize, and you're trying to earn them. That belief creates imbalance. It places someone else above you on an invisible pedestal, and without noticing, you start proving yourself through actions. Overgiving, overthinking, and emotional investment that's not reciprocated. The deeper truth is, people don't chase what they believe they already deserve. Chasing is born when you doubt your own value. That's why self-worth is everything. It's the foundation. When you truly believe you're enough, you stop needing external validation to feel secure. You no longer tolerate breadcrumbs. You don't obsess over mixed signals or stay stuck in confusion. You set standards, and those who can't meet them are gently removed from your world. Not because you don't care, but because you care about yourself more. Ask yourself right now, if you had to rate your self-worth on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you honestly say? If you're a 5 chasing a 9, you'll always feel like you're behind, like you need to catch up, impress, or prove. That dynamic creates anxiety, overthinking, and attachment that feels like love, but is really just fear of rejection. The solution isn't to pull them down to your level, it's to elevate yourself. Self-worth isn't built overnight. It's developed through choices, boundaries, and the way you speak to yourself. Begin with the basics. Take care of your body, speak truth to your thoughts. Stop entertaining situations that confuse you. Confusion is a cue to walk away, not a puzzle to solve. Make your time, energy, and presence exclusive. Give it to those who earn it. Stop explaining your value, live it. Adopt an abundance mindset. That doesn't mean having 10 people lined up to replace someone. It means believing that you're not limited to just one option or outcome. When you trust that what's meant for you will come, and you stay committed to growing into the best the version of yourself, you lose that anxious grip on one person. You realize, I am the prize. That belief shifts everything. You stop chasing and they start noticing. People treat you the way you treat yourself. When you operate from high, your standards rise, your energy shifts, and your presence speaks before you do. You don't need to beg for love. You don't need to prove anything. You just walk in alignment and watch as the right people recognize your value without needing to be convinced. Transformation begins with energy. The shift from chaser to magnet doesn't require perfection, it requires clarity, self-honesty, and consistent action. It's not about being cold or distant. It's about embodying the kind of energy that naturally attracts rather than chases. And this shift begins with one essential step. Prioritize your world. Most people ask, do they like me? When the real question should be, do I like my life? When your world is full of purpose, goals, discipline, and fulfillment, less room for obsession over someone else. You no longer hinge your happiness on their reply or attention, because your focus is on building something greater, yourself. Attraction is strongest when you're rooted in purpose. Instead of trying to pull people in, your progress speaks for itself. You become undeniable. Next comes boundaries, the invisible force field that builds respect. When you have no boundaries, people feel they can come and go, treat you inconsistently, or take advantage of your energy. But when you set clear standards, when you only engage with those who match your effort and respect your presence, you filter out what drains you and make space for what uplifts you. Boundaries don't push people away. They protect your value and signal that you respect yourself. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. If someone flakes, and you still give them attention, you've shown them there's no cost to their disrespect. But when you walk away from what doesn't meet your standard, you send a powerful message. I value myself too much to beg, and that message shifts how others view you. It either draws in those who match your energy, pushes away those who never truly respected it. Lastly, expand your vision. One person is not your entire story. Get clear not just on who you want, but what you want to feel. Write down the qualities you want in a connection: respect, peace, reciprocity, passion. Visualize the feeling, not the face. This puts your focus back on abundance, not scarcity. It breaks the illusion that you've lost something irreplaceable. You haven't. You're simply making space for alignment. You stop shrinking the moment you choose expansion. You stop chasing when you realize you were never meant to beg. You were meant to become. The most powerful shift is not changing others, it's changing yourself. And once that shift happens, the right people, opportunities, and relationships start gravitating toward you, not because you forced them to, but because your energy finally matched your worth.